bimbo and slut reclamation culture and why they shouldn't be your feminist models. Let's take a seat. This is a typical bimbo outfit. Short, small dresses, nice jewelry, sunglasses. Generally, there would be pink involved in this, but I have very little pink in my closet. All the hyper feminine traits that are assigned to women generally, or considered to be acceptable. These identities are sexualized identities rooted in patriarchal ideas about women and how they should dress. They are generally reinstated by other women on the internet now. Though these are internet extremes, I think that they show something about the overall society. And so this is no small little niche community. This is a big deal, and a lot of people do this in many different forms. They definitely show a critical part of the female experience, which is to categorize oneself based on identities that are put in place by the patriarchy. The crucial element of this is that it's just because you assign yourself the role does not mean that it is feminist. Just because you consider yourself a bimbo doesn't mean that the term bimbo is now a feminist reclamation. You are still just calling yourself a bimbo, which is what society and the patriarchy has been calling you to begin with. Firstly, I want to talk about the actual physical constraints of the clothing that is in this bimbo culture. This miniskirt I must pull down in order for my butt to not hang out. If I stand up, it's tight. If I want to run, virtually impossible. The actual physical constraints of clothing symbol the patriarchal rule. We are putting ourselves in chains when we wear this type of clothing. As Siebler says in her essay, the wardrobe of what is sexy is defined by men for men, limiting women's movement and ownership of their bodies. And so we are literally constraining ourselves, and not to mention the infantilization of women through it. A lot of these bimbo creators consider themselves dumb blondes, purely talk about makeup. The saying, "I'm just a girl," was huge on the internet last year, and basically that excused idiotic behavior, was to equate the idiotic behavior with "I'm just a girl." And all of this accumulates into the essence of women belittling themselves and bringing themselves down as a way to adhere to the patriarchy. But I don't really want to talk about that. I want to focus more so on the fact that this culture has not been scrutinized for being, adhering to the patriarchal standard. What it has done is it's been commodified as a part of feminism. So if you dress slutty, if you are hyper feminine, if you act ditzy, those are all feminist qualities. And I'd like to push back on that idea. A crucial element to this is that research found that women who dressed more provocatively were viewed to be more likely to be raped or be sexually promiscuous. So this goes beyond the superficial level of it's not feminist and, women are just adhering to a standard that's set for them. It is also dangerous as well. This research basically compared a conservatively dressed woman with a provocatively dressed woman, and also women's, but particularly men's views of them changed drastically, and they considered the women who dressed provocatively to be more likely to be raped or sexually assaulted or just simply be more promiscuous. Women dressing like this is genuinely dangerous. Basically, this research showed that men were more understanding of women being raped and sexually assaulted when they dress this particular way. And I'm drawing my own conclusion that men are more likely to rape women who dress in that way or forgive other rapists for doing so. And so I think this is from the Weber article that I found that research. And I think this is incredibly important because we're purposely infantilizing ourselves, purposely dressing in clothes that physically constrain us. And so we're putting ourselves in this position and considering it feminist when it is in fact not. We're positioning ourselves the way they want us to be positioned. And this is a very vulnerable place and it's a very violent place. And men view women dressing like this as actively accepting danger, And we're idealizing it on social media as, oh, I'm a cute little bimbo, and oh, I just dressed like this and I'm so ditzy, and oh my god. Like, why are we doing this to ourselves? That is why we should not adhere to bimbo culture, why we shouldn't purposely dress like this and infantilize ourselves for the sake of a feminist narrative, because it's not feminist. It's adhering to a dangerous patriarchal standard.